The story about Daniel and his three friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, is an amazing story. It's amazing because God shows up in amazing supernatural ways. But it's amazing from a different standpoint as well. I mean, come on. Why on earth did these four young men do what they did? Go to a far-off country, submit themselves to a far-off country, and serve the culture of their country. We want to take a look at the backdrop to why today and tomorrow. Also, why on earth did this story even make the Old Testament? We're talking about four young men, thousands of miles away from their home country, which their home country, Israel, is where the Old Testament is going on at. Why on earth did this story even make the Bible? And lastly, why did God even show up? Why did God show up among these four men who were serving a foreign, pagan, evil country and culture? Why did he show up on behalf of them? Why did that even happen? Today's reading is a backdrop to why they went, why they served. Daniel knew Jeremiah, or at least he knew the prophecies of Jeremiah. And Daniel decided to hear and follow God through the prophecies of Jeremiah. Jeremiah today, what did he say? I am the only prophet with this message. I mean, talk about a doomed preacher, right? He's the only one with this message. Everybody else is saying something completely opposite. But what did Jeremiah say on behalf of God? God is the one in control of the entire world, not just Israel. And it is for such a time as this that Nebuchadnezzar was going to take over the known world as you know it. So submit to him. Don't dig your heels in against him. If you dig your heels in, he'll destroy you. But if you serve him, if you go countercultural and you serve him and submit to him, you'll get to keep your farmland. You'll get to keep your nation. You'll get to continue life as you know it. But instead, they decided to dig in. And they were completely destroyed. Except these young men who went to this foreign land and decided to take the words of Jeremiah, the words of Yahweh, through Jeremiah, seriously. Submit yourself to him, to Nebuchadnezzar, and the country, and the culture, and I'll be with you when you do. See, this is vital for today, because what God was setting up is this. What does it look like to be in God's kingdom, but also be living in a foreign land? Look, I'm an American citizen. Most of you are going to be American citizens and you live in America. But we still live among a foreign land. If you are a part of God's kingdom, you live in a foreign land. So what does that tension look like? How does it look like to be a servant of God's kingdom, but also a servant of the culture in which you live? This is where Daniel teaches us that God is the King of Kings, but he has placed us in this moment, in this day, in this land, in this community, in this culture for such a time as this. How do we navigate that tension where we serve our culture but also serve the King of Kings? We hear and follow him, even when it's not necessarily the most popular thing to do. And sometimes it's not going to be popular because we serve the culture, so the religious are going to be like, why do you do this? And then it's not going to be popular because we stand with the King of Kings, and our culture says, why do you do that? It's not going to be popular from two aspects. But Daniel's going to help us navigate how we navigate the tension between serving the culture and serving our King of Kings. Stay tuned for more ahead.